Good afternoon. It's another Friday that comes in rapid form. It seems like I'm doing Monday Live with Tony's before the next thing I know, I look up and it's Friday. I have to focus on what the day is. I'm going to break away today from the Mind, Mood, and Memory series. I've got more to do with this issue of the July Mind, Mood, and Memory that comes out of Massachusetts General Hospital. I've done parts 1 and 2 this week on Monday and Wednesday, but I happened to have someone call to my attention yesterday on a phone call I got to read an article that was in the AARP Bulletin. It's in the AARP Bulletin. The bulletin is the, let's make sure I should have done this, is the, what bulletin is this? My goodness. August 2024. It's the AARP Bulletin, August 2024. And somebody called my attention to an article that I'm not sure whether to scream or be happy. And that's kind of where I'm in, and you'll see why. The article is all about in the Your Health section. So it's in the Your Health section of the magazine. And it talks about your mind on Wordle. And Wordle is this game that you play. It's a New York Times game that actually I've been playing with my other half. There's a couple of the New York Times games we play every day. We do a thing called Connect. We do the multiplication or math thing, and then we do this Wordle thing. And this article is basically saying word games may not prevent dementia, but they offer other benefits to the psyche. Now, word games, puzzles, jigsaw puzzles, crossword puzzles, whatever it may be, there's been a lot of research done in the last at least 10 years on what are things that people can do to improve their mental health and possibly prevent dementia. So that's the big study now, and that's the big interest. And what I've said to people over and over again, and this is where I start to get to the screaming part, and maybe it's my frustration and my own inability to get my messaging out, which we do through the USA Memory Championship. And what we've done for 24 years, 25th is coming up in a few weeks, what we've done in those 24 years is we've gotten people to compete in the USA Memory Championship, where we've distilled essential skills that can be taught that then demonstrate transferability to people that they can use in their lives that make a difference in their mental performance in everyday life. Example, there's an event in it called the Tea Party. And in it, we have people, they need to remember names, they need to remember numbers, they need to remember words, they need to remember hobbies, different bits of information about people that introduce themselves in an event called the Tea Party. 3 strikes, you're out of the party. But what's more important about the Tea Party is the skills that the mental athletes have to be able to learn and apply in their brains, cognitive function. And we've been doing this for a number of years, and you would think that somewhere in our work and somewhere in the efforts of the USA Memory mental athletes, the messaging would be getting out on a broader scale that says there are skills that people can use that can in fact improve their memories. And we've had competitors in the competition over the years that are as old as 70, many of them 50s, that have proven and demonstrated such the principles that they've been able to learn the skill or skills, because there are multiple skills that you learn, and it's demonstrated an improvement in their life in one way or another. So here comes this article in AARP, and it talks about your mind on Wordle, figuring out the word of the day, or this Connect, figuring out, and whether or not these games help you with preventing dementia. nowhere in the article does it mention and even link to saying, well, you know what? There may be skills that people can be taught that helps them improve how they remember people's names, how they might improve remembering a phone number, how they may be able to improve remembering the items they need to go shopping for in the grocery store without writing it on paper or putting it in their cell phone. How they can exercise their brain in the most efficient manner possible that demonstrates that through the utilization of these skills, they actually can improve their cognitive performance. And that's what the U.S. Memory Championship has done for 24 years. And so through the skills, through the application, they're able to take how to remember names for the competition and use it in their personal lives when they're meeting people on a day-to-day basis. Especially if they're in the business world and they want to network and they want to remember people in the business world that are going to help them move their business forward or their income forward. How you remember numbers if, by golly, your cell phone isn't with you or you just forgot, or an address. Prices of things, your investments in your financial markets. How do you remember the numerics that are in your life that are important to you that you may sometimes just need to spur right off the top of your head? And so we've built over 24 years a demonstration of the mental challenges that people can apply, and that is now being written about in a scientific study, finally, that has been done at Columbia University with the support of MIT and Princeton and Rutgers. And so we're making progress, and we've had Michael Dattino take a group of students over 3 years and put them through some of these skills, have them apply these skills, and they've been able to see through the fMRIs the differences that are taking place in the physiology of people's brains. So when I read an article such as this, and AARP folks have come to the USA Memory Championship in the past, so I look at this AARP magazine, the AARP Bulletin, and I'm saying, God, if we really want to help seniors, and we really want to look at what things we can have them practice or apply or play, wouldn't it seem sensible that through the demonstration of 24 years of people whose lives have been impacted in a very positive way, to say, gee, what are some of the skills that we can teach people to help them improve their memory? And that's the screaming part. I want to just, God, and sometimes I do take that personally, like, what more can I do to help people get the messaging that we've been trying to deliver for 24 years, that anyone can improve their memory, given first the belief that it's not just innate, you either have it or don't, given the willingness to learn. It's going to take some time. We're going to have to learn what these skills are and then apply them. Actually practice and utilize them in our everyday life and see what the benefits are to those changes in a person's life. And that's what Columbia is proving in the study that they are now working on putting into a white paper. Which then drives me crazy and saying, God, after you do something for 24 years and you've got such frontline experience with real people, you basically have got a 24-year lab experiment, but because it's not been in a silo in following certain protocols, who's going to believe it? Because I'm not a PhD, but have 24 years of practical, my dad always said, Anthony, getting your hands dirty is the best way to learn something. That wisdom sometimes misses the scientific community. It's like, God, how many more people would you like to see in order to know that they've made a difference in their lives? And then the last benefit that comes, and I really like this part. I thought this was superb because the writer really, in my opinion, nails it. What she really says is, but the biggest benefit of these Wordles and these Connect games and these different things of puzzles and stuff is the biggest benefit where the science is clear, and I've been talking about this for the last 5 years, is the link between cognitive decline and social isolation. Medicine reported on the data that estimated that older people who report chronic loneliness and social isolation have a 50% higher risk of dementia. If you're part of a community that is playing games and you are reinforcing each other, in addition to the dopamine release you get when you get a success in a game, hey, I reached success, there's a dopamine flash, you're also forming community bonds and social support. And I've been talking about the importance of social interaction since the advent of COVID and what it was going to do to our brains, to our life expectancy. And where I saw that being a significant impact was actually in children, being isolated from going to school. And we talk about seniors in the AARP bulletin, but learning how to improve your memory and building community teams. We've got mental athlete clubs we've had in selective schools over the past 24 years. And getting kids to learn how to learn and teach one another how to improve their cognitive function, to me, would be one of the hugest benefits that we could have in creating in our society. If my team maybe can just finally figure out how to get the world to recognize, or how to get people in the United States to realize there are things that we can do with our cognitive fitness. It is going to take first a belief, it's going to take some learning, it's going to take some work and applying, but boy, are the benefits worth it. So you've got the up and the downside. It's wonderful to see that AARP at least picks a topic that's about as red hot as you can pick today. People worrying about their mental health and dementia, Alzheimer's, spending billions of dollars on these things and missing the boat. The frustrating part where I want to scream and saying, but might we not learn how our memories work? Might we not learn what skills we can build and test those skills in improving it and seeing for ourselves in our own little lab of practice? So now you've got the balance of, as I read this article and someone called it to my attention, says, Tony, you've been doing this for 25 years. Where have they been? Maybe it's where have I been? It's not where, AARP has been to the competition couple of times, but where have they been? Maybe they're challenged to figure out, but where have I been is the frustrating part that makes me want to scream. What is it that I need to do more to figure out how to get more people to say there's hope for everybody, there's hope for all of us, and let's just figure out how to go get it. I'm going to try to enjoy the weekend, though I may not be watching any more Yankee games. They can stress me out. And I can only commiserate with Yankee fans how terrible they've been playing for the last month and not watch them. So you have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.